What is a cloud? What is a cloud services? Today I'm going to discuss Amazon Web Service, short for AWS. This is a good picture of what service they have. They keep adding this more service every day. At the very low layer is Amazon's physical infrastructure. It includes a lot of regions, availability zones. Region, for example, US, West or East, Pacific, Sydney. There are many regions in the world. Availability zone is in one particular regions. There are multiple data centers. So you think a data center in this layer. The first layer is so many data centers that you can choose from. The second layer is actually what the real service. There's a virtual server, virtual CPU, if you can think of that way, with small computers and storage and database. And then on top, they're building a lot of things. Today I'm going to show you on the top, it's called a Beanstalk. So the Beanstalk is built on the lower layer. It's just an integration of things. So I thought that in this way I will show you how each component is used and what is the cloud service. Let's talk about the basic components, each of them. I have this diagram. Suppose you have a website. I'm going to map my website into Amazon Cloud. What does it really mean? On the top, you have your domain, your website. Amazon has a load balancer. It will balance multiple virtual servers, which is called the EC2s. The virtual server has some limited storage, but if your website is really big, you really need a dedicated storage. The storage here are duplicate each other. It's pretty hard to synchronize the storage from here to here. So that's why you need a dedicated storage outside. So every virtual server will talk to the storage. And same as the database. So the database is here that's serving the multiple virtual servers. This is a very typical example of scaling. There's a distinct difference between, in this case, called a horizontal scaling versus vertical scaling. Horizontal scaling is what I just showed. There are multiple servers. Vertical scale, I have a dedicated server. I want more CPU cores in the server, more memory, more storage. That's called a vertical scaling. The first thing we need to prepare is database. You have to configure different server. So for example, I have prepared my database here. Instead of your server name, you have to change your host name, username into this format. You have to use this. Second, you have to configure the database server. Let me show you how it's done. First, you go to the Beanstalk. From the console, you go to the Beanstalk. We want to get started with, I have a website that's PHP based. You select a Linux version, say 64 versus 32. This is an auto load balancing. Here's the auto scaling. So here, there's an auto scaling among the EC2s. So let's get started. You have a configured application, but we really don't want this. We want our own PHP code. So I'm going to try to see whether I can stop this. The first thing I did already is run. So it's already launched and trying to do this, but what I really want to do is create a new one. I really don't want this one, but what can I do? Starting already, but let's see. Another thing is how much this will cost you. Now here's my detailed bill. This is in different zone, North California zone, and that EC2 is costing me 0. Why? Because the first year you have a free tier for the smallest CPU. EC2 will cost you they charge you every hour. I just launched that by mistake. If I kill it, I will still be charged for an hour. This is a load balancing will cost you. I have S3, so there are various costs. They really calculate everything. So this is the storage that I was talking about, called the S3, simple storage service S3. That cost is pretty cheap. I mean, in this US standard region is 1 cent. Every service here will cost you things except the free here, there's a limited. I'm getting some support, so you don't really need. You just need to watch my video, and I'm paying the support and get familiar with the service. So I'm paying the support, but usually when you sign up, if you watch my video, study on your own, you don't have to pay this. So let's come back to see whether this finished. See, this Beanstalk is still going. Let me just create a new one. I think when you create a new one, you have a chance to load your own PHP. The first PHP environment is still to say load balancing, auto scaling. I say continue. Here is I don't load the sample application. I load my own. I'll try to my own. Say I zip this my own website. It's better you zip without your current root. Otherwise, you need to go back, change the root. A lot of time it won't work. So I choose my PHP. It will try to upload. Where is it going to be uploaded? Remember this name, my upload. What happened is, as soon as you click that, it will be upload to some region in that S3. Say, let's go to the S3 to see the upload to. I had a Virginia region. I upload to here. See that exactly that PHP script was uploaded to S3 storage. So I'm paying for it. Click continue, and then come here whether you want a VPC. We'll discuss VPC in another one. It's virtual private own network is more secure, but let's say we just want a RDS instance at this point. We click continue, and here we have a choice choosing EC2. So we are going to choose the smallest, which is free. The second one is a key pair. I already created a key pair, but it wasn't in this Virginia. I shouldn't have a created in Virginia. Let's do a new one. So here, remember, you create a new app. So you create an application, and then you can create an environment, which is, in my case, a PHP. And we do have a load balancing, auto scaling. So auto balancing and auto scaling is auto balance. Auto scaler is inside here. So we choose this file. It will upload, copy this to the S3 bucket again. So now we create an RDS, the smallest macro. I create a key pair in this region. It's called a Beanstalk. I use that. Let's just go fast forward here. And now it's database creation. Remember the free tier is the smallest. Username, my demo. I really don't care. I will delete it once it's done, and also single availability zone. So this will create RDS. So now you need to review what is there. What is the environment, the application. I'm going to load my own PHP there. The type of database is MySQL, and I will say create. So this will take some time. At the end of this is supposed to be green and finish. One thing I hate is at the beginning I couldn't find my stuff. So you really have to which zone you have. You have to get a see. I don't see my second server. I only see the first server, which is created, which is fine, and we can see what is created. See, this one is say green. This one was not given my own PHP. It has only sample. So this will show your works. But the other one, a lot of time you have to play. It may not work. Configuration here. In this case, you could edit. Say you can edit. So I want to change what is the availability zone. I have a auto scaling is a maximum of 4. A minimum is 1. If your website has a higher load, then the actual web server will kick in by the auto scaling feature. Will give you a second virtual web server EC2 or third or fourth. So this is a feature that enables the horizontal scaling. Of course, there's a specific trigger, and how it's triggered, you can come to this to change your configuration. Once you get to this, that you start paying for it, then you will pay attention how important those things. At this point, you probably don't care. Of course, the monitor and alarm. Let's see how they're doing. So I create another server here. It's still going through the launch. It will take some time to configure this. So that sample one usually works because it didn't have a separate database. It didn't have a separate storage. Storage actually is even harder to do with the Beanstalk because your script actually has a file system here directly on the same server. If it's a different server, you have to either synchronize the file You play your file system, or you synchronize your folder, or you save the file to S3. But S3 is at a different server, so you have to either change your code, or in this case, I was experimenting the use of S3FS to save it. It's a little bit harder. The steps are like this here. You have to download their tarball. You have to go through the configuration. You have to include EB extension folder, .eb expansion, and then you package your PHP. Sometimes this works, and sometimes you really have to debug why it's not working. Okay, so this is still not done, but eventually it will be done and either tell you have a problem or not. But basically, I want to just show you this Beanstalk on the top layer. This is more platform service, and here's the infrastructure service. So this will be a different service. Thank you.